Do you want to keep your Honda engine running smooth? Well, changing the oil of a Honda Mower engine, it's fairly easy. It's a little different than a Briggs & Stratton, but should be no problem for you. So today we are going to change the oil on this Craftsman. It has the Honda motor on it, the GCV 160 Honda motor, and you can see here's the dipstick. Now on this one, I noticed on another video, you can see where the oil level is. It's way up here. I mean, it's overfilled for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and drain it all and put new oil in. Now the bad thing about engine oil fill like this, on the previous video, there was actual oil on the pan here, and what you'll see, it was running real rough, and I cleaned the carburetor out thinking that, well, maybe if I can get it in focus here, thinking that the carburetor was clogged or dirty, but it looked like it was in really good shape. But actually what was happening with the overfill in oil, it was just clogging everything up. And the way I saw it, I had already cleaned all this stuff off. There was, standing oil, and there's some already starting to drip off, leaking out. And where you see it, see all that oily stuff there, when it's overfilled, you're going to get it draining off of your governor here. And then when you take off the air cleaner, or the air filter, I noticed down here also there's real oily feeling, and it was oily down here at the bottom. So I think it was the overfill in oil that was causing the clogs, and that can do damage to the engine just as if there was not enough oil. You're actually restricting oil flow where it should go, and yeah, that's definitely leaking out. The oil looks good. I mean, it's not like it's dirty or anything, but it's all over the place. So we'll go ahead and drain the oil and refill it. And you do this procedure even if everything is okay and you're just going to change the oil. So on a Honda motor, instead of having the oil, an oil drain lug or whatever on the bottom underneath here, with the Honda, you just take off the cap here, and then you turn the lawnmower on its side going this way and just let it drain out. So let's get everything prepared. And there's the oil drain pan, and there's for my dog. Go get it. So we put oil pan ready, and I'll put the camera on get a little more steady shot here. Alright, so we got our oil pan in place. Let's take our plugs out. Take off, there's your dipstick. And we'll take a close eye on this one. It was definitely overfilled. It was all the way at the top there, if you can see past my dog. Alright. Came out pretty fast. That was so full. And it is kind of dirty, so I thought it looked pretty clean at first, but just let it drain, and I made a mess. Okay, girly. So there's our funnel. Let me get a better view there. And Honda recommends 10W30. So I picked up some 10W30. In this case, it's Pennzoil. My vehicles, I've always used Castrol GT and synthetics, and you can use synthetics on this, I believe. If you use synthetics, I think Honda recommends like a 15W40. But here on the side of the engine, they're saying a 10W30. And but if you're in very, very hot climates, if you're going to be working in 90, 100 degree weather, then I'd recommend just plain SAE 30. And that's what I do on my Briggs and Strattons. But anyway, when you take a look at this, if this thing was totally dry, as in oil, you know, your oil pan here, if it was new oil or totally dry, you know, new batch, whatever, I think it's something like, correct me if I'm wrong, about 18.5 ounces up to 20 ounces. But since this is, there's still some, you know, some oil in there, you can get it all out. But on an oil change, it's about 12 to 13 ounces. So in this case, there's your levels here. So this is a quart, so it's, oh, there's a quart, so there's 16 ounces down to here. I'm going to go down to 12 ounces to start off with, and then check it, because the whole reason I'm doing this is because it was overfilled. So I'm just going to put 12 ounces. So from here down to the 20 mark, that'll be 12 ounces. So here we go. Okay, so that's down to the 20 mark. So of course 32 ounces minus 20 is 12 ounces. So let's take a reading on the dipstick. That's pretty close. Let's try it again. Yep, so it's, you can see that it came almost to the high level. So I'm going to leave it like that. It should just be perfect. And here's a little tip. When you make an oil spill like that, I just keep a little bag of kitty litter handy. Down on the oil. There you go, just let it sit there and that will soak up the oil. So kitty litter it's more for just cat pee. Now that's been sitting a while, let's check the oil level again. And with a Honda engine, with the dipstick, just place it in, don't screw it in. That is just about perfect. So, yep, it's right there at the fill mark, at the full mark. So that was 12 ounces I put in. Alright, so I'll take it over there and crank it up and see if it runs any smoother. But that is how you change the oil. Well, there you go. Changing the oil was pretty easy. And on this mower, it really demonstrated the importance of not overfilling the oil. That oil overfill caused all the problems with this engine. It was leaking out of the governor, clogging the carburetor, and it was restricting airflow coming through the air filter. So just be sure to use the manufacturer's recommended oil weight and do not overfill. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to our channel and look for more DIY repair and maintenance videos.